You are listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Your host are myself, Wole, and the homie Glen. What's good, Glen?
Not much. Rested from the bye week. No more
Yeah,
emotional. No more emotional investment in this organization, this team for this year. It is what it is.
It is what it
I'm,
is,
I'm
right?
watching. I'm watching the rest of the weeks as a fan and see what happens and
Yeah,
see what draft pick the Washington Commanders can get.
I
Right?
know.
New
Yep,
York
so
Giants.
true.
Giants stop winning. The Giants keep winning.
Keep
Giants.
winning.
Giants
Keep
keep winning.
winning.
Giants.
Keep winning.
Giants. New York Giants keep winning. Please
Yeah,
keep winning.
I'm like, all these teams keep winning. I'm like, yo, this is up, man. Like, you
Yeah.
all are amazing. Like, you're like,
Keep,
especially the Giants. I'm like, yo, keep winning. You're in the division. You keep winning. Like,
you
don't get
keep
yourself one of
winning.
these good quarterbacks. Don't even no.
Don't even
There's
worry
no
about it. You
need.
keep winning. You keep winning.
You
Let
go
everybody beat
ahead
them on.
and you go ahead and have Daniel Jones next season. You go. You
Oh
deserve it.
shoot, the way they going, Tommy DeVito will be a starter.
Maybe.
The way they going, DeVito crazy. Yo,
Hey,
Tommy DeVito be the man.
yeah,
TD, he's
maybe.
our man. If he can't do
Yeah,
it, no one can.
nobody can. You may be right with that. So yeah, no matter of fact, stay with DeVito. Go with that.
Yeah,
Just keep winning for DeVito. You know what
keep
I'm
winning for
saying?
DeVito.
And I will say to your point, Glenn. So if a bye week when your team is struggling, it's sometimes the most refreshing thing in the world.
It's
Like you
the
just watch football. Like you could just literally just watch football. You'd be like, oh, okay,
okay.
that's a good
Yep,
game. There's
it's a good
no
game.
investment. There's no investment. You're not annoyed. You know what I'm saying? I know
Nope.
we do this show, and sometimes we do this show live on post games, and people see us like we're pretty calm or whatever. Like, yeah, we get like amped up when we're talking about stuff on the show, but when we leave the show, we actually go back and watch it. I mean, for me, I can speak for myself. I
Yeah.
get annoyed again. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So,
I know it all
so
over again.
yeah, exactly. So I feel like so I just want fans, people, listeners to the show, listeners, viewers of the show, and listeners on podcasts or whatnot, podcast platform, to let y'all know that we do get pissed too. It's just
Hmm.
that you know what I'm saying we do, but so a bye week is great. A bye week is great sometimes, man. It's refreshing when your team is struggling.
It's totally refreshing.
Yeah.
But like you
Hey,
said, this
go
team
ahead.
can't even keep it quiet on the bye week.
We gonna get into that. We gonna
Yeah.
definitely get into that. Hey, yo, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG underscore everything and hit us up on IG at ABG underscore everything, like our All Burgundy and Gold Everything Facebook page. And make sure to subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel as well. All right, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll debate whether we believe Ron Rivera has lost the locker room. We'll talk about Jamin Davis being out for the season and the Commanders' next opponents in the LA Rams. All right, Glenn. Former Commanders and current Chicago Bears defensive end Montez Sweat came out and said a few interesting things. Do you want to play that real quick, Glenn?
Yeah, I got you, man. Here we go. Here it is. What?
Where I came from, it was, you know what I'm saying, it was kind of like just waiting on the season and kind of. But here it's like every week, you know, it's a new challenge and people want to play for the man beside them, man. That's what I'm here for.
All right, hearing that, Glenn, from what you've seen, do you think that Coach Rivera has lost his locker room?
Oh, he did. I mean, Jamin had left. He left the. I'm not excuse me. Montez left. Montez left the Washington Commanders for week 8.
Yeah.
Right? It was week 8, and at week 8, right? This team was. If I not believe this team was what 3-5, 4,
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, something like that, right? And you have 9 games left.
He said
And,
that.
and he said that, and people were talking about they waiting for the end of the season left.
Yeah.
You're 9 game left at that time. They was in that position for the P word, right?
Yeah.
They was being talking about that P word.
Yeah.
And when that trade happened, so again, that shows you how players were feeling. Shows you how they had much faith they had in this organization, the leadership behind this organization, the head coach of this organization. Montez doesn't seem like a guy who's sour because he's gone, because he left the Commanders, went to Chicago and got the bag, right?
Yeah.
Right,
They took care of him off the rip.
and they taking care of him off the rip. So again, Ron Rivera has been lost his locker room, and for him to have lost it, and within 8 games, it's much more terrible.
Do you think he lost it after that Bears game?
Yeah, I think he lost the locker room after the Bear game. I think he lost after the Bear game. I think he might have even came into the part of the season not having the part of the locker room. I think he had to win the locker room over, right? You have new ownership coming in. You got new offensive coordinator. You got new people. People are hearing different things. We know that Ron didn't look like he was hands on a lot in training camp. Looked like he wasn't hands on a lot at the beginning of the season. And I think people had lost faith in Ron Rivera even from the beginning. So, yeah.
Do you think? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so you think off the rip, maybe a little bit earlier than that.
Yeah, because some of the guys coming back last year, I think they had lost faith in them last year, right?
Yeah.
They knew not much has changed.
Okay, I got you.
Even when
it was discussed last year. Got you.
It's been built up since last year. Some of these guys have been on the roster. The roster didn't change that much from the previous years with Ron Rivera. So I think he'd been lost him.
I feel like it's like when Ted said it, it's like we kind of got wind of it. Even when Chase came out and said it, like, just going into this organization in San Francisco, it's just a winning mentality, right? You just felt something different, right? And then you have Ted saying it, and it's wild because these guys are best friends, so I guess they're sharing some stories, but but then the other player pretty much says the same thing, just phrased a little differently, right? Saying that, like, coming here, like the coach in Chicago, and again, which is a worse situation in Chicago, right?
Right, they're losing, but again, the culture of the Bears. When you say Chicago Bear, it's the culture of the Bears.
But he said that they're playing for that coach, and it's wild because a lot of people don't like that coach, but he said they're playing for that coach, that particular coach. So it's interesting, like, to see that how that Bears coach is starting to get these guys to rally for him. And the Bears, they're still in contention for the playoffs because they've been winning multiple games. They beat Detroit twice.
Right?
They beat Detroit twice. And if you look at it, like we talk about this is why it was so disheartening that this Washington team can't get right, because this is the season where a piss poor team can make the playoffs.
And the NFC,
yeah, it's just so bad. No, it is so bad. Other than it cute a buck. Like, San Francisco's by far better than everybody,
and Philly, and then those two teams.
Well, Philly, they're inconsistent.
They're inconsistent. With you got the top three teams, or your
I think Dallas, Philly, and San Fran.
And San Francisco, top three teams.
Those three teams are the favorites to win it all. Like, we can keep it a buck. We hate Dallas. We can keep it a buck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when you see like Chicago fighting and Washington's not able to beat like the Giants, then like maybe like he did lose this team, right? Like, that's what you would kind of come up and say that he lost this team and he lost the locker room. So yeah, it's disheartening, and you could, like I said before, you could see it in his face, at pressers. It's just it's wild, because if you asked me last year, and before this year, I would tell you, like, the players play for Ron Rivera. They may start off slow, but they do play for him. Like, I won't even make that up. Like, I could be as negative if I want to, but I do think, because like you'll see it multiple times in the season, they'll start slow, but they'll get hot, right?
Yeah,
they'll get real hot. And I'm like, and you hear how they talk about Rivera, and it's like, and you can see how he responds to him and how they respond to him, and you're like, you can tell they genuinely care about the dude, right? But sometimes I think once you get to a point where the same thing continues to happen,
that's it.
You're like, all right, bro. I mean, we like you, but we can't keep playing this way. Like, we want to be a playoff team. Like when Jonathan Allen came out and said, like, when somebody, he was on the Junkies and they asked him, like, it's basically about being traded or going elsewhere. He's like, I can't. Like, I do want to win.
I want to win.
I want to win. He won't win here, but I want to win, and I won't lie to you that it has come to my mind. I'm paraphrasing that, going elsewhere and winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, these dudes want to win, so I can only imagine, like, yeah, if they still get that same product, that same type of play, like that same type of coaching, same type of situation where they start slow or they go on these losing streaks and they can't be consistent. Like, they're gonna kind of check out. Like, I ain't doing this again. I'm done. Like, there's too much energy to try to check out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think you had a point there. I think you made a point there. There's too much energy. Some guys are checked out, right? Yeah. Some guys are tired of hearing the same story over and over again, right? The same rah-rah speech over and over again. We almost there. It's potential. It's on us. It's on you guys. That gets old after a while, and guys are beginning to willing to check out, right? Guys started making trips and vacations to Hawaii and Maui to get into warmness, right? And I'm not talking about going to the Pro Bowl neither, right? Guys start checking out. So again, Ron Rivera has to understand that his team has was checked out. When you even get rid of good players like a Montez Sweat and a Chase Young, people get even checked out more. When the Jonathan out, and especially when you're not winning, right? You make all these moves and none of the moves are successful. People get disheartened. And become upset with you, even though you made the Jack Del Rio move. It was kind of too little, too late. People are still like, hey, come on, you made this move at the beginning of the year.
Maybe we have a chance. Yeah,
we got a chance. Now you take over the defense, and the defense still hasn't been able to produce. So now the guys that were hanging on by the thread or we're trying, they're like, yo, so he's calling the defense. We still ain't get better. So like, what's going on here? Sure. So he's lost the whole team, locker room, everything else. He lost support from the front office. You know,
no, I agree. I totally agree. He's gonna definitely.
Go ahead. Yeah, when he called Josh Harris, the report was that Josh Harris told him, "Do what you got to feel like you got to do, right? Like, dog, this on you. This ain't on me, right? Yeah. Josh Harris, like, this ain't none of this on me.
Yeah, this is you.
This is all you. So I'm gonna let you make all the decisions, and I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna take care of business after you're gone.
After you're gone, and that's the right way. That's the right way to go about it. It's the right way to go about it. So let's go to the next topic, man. Ron Rivera, he did draft, talking about a guy who he made a personnel move. He did draft Jamin Davis. Linebacker Jamin Davis is out for the season due to a shoulder injury. Jamin Davis finished the season with 89 tackles, 3 sacks, one interception, and 2 forced fumbles. What are your thoughts on his progression to the linebacker position? Because everybody's got he's polarizing. Jamin Davis is polarizing to a lot of people.
I think he did well. I think he has transitioned well. I think this was one of his better seasons. And what I saw, I think he was moving upward in the right direction. Sorry that that he's injured and he's out for the rest of the season, because I thought Jamin Davis was doing everything that the Washington Commanders asked him to do in the defense they asked him to be in, and he was where he needed to be. And he did it without a Cole Holcomb. He did it with without having Khalid Hudson all the time. He did it without
having Barton.
Barton and Mayo. I mean, it takes a lot for him to do it with Mayo, right? I mean, you're out there playing by yourself when you got Mayo out there. So at the end of the day, Jamin Davis did. I think he did well, right? We asked that we saw him even cover cornerbacks and receivers. I mean, actually running backs pretty well. And so you see he got better with that. Of course, he had a couple of brain farts that cost the Washington Commanders some yards, big plays, but also he had a big interception that sealed the win for Washington. So but I thought Jamin did well, and I wish him the well. And what's sad is that he's injured and he still has to deal with his court case. That's a whole different story.
Yeah, it's a whole different story. And also, man, he's got the team the new ownership. New GM coach. They're going to have to figure out if they want to use their fifth year. pick up the fifth year option on him. So his career is in DC's in limbo. You know what I mean? But I want to say this about Jamin because. Is that a lot of people get on him, but the goal is progression, right? And every year Jamin's gotten better. And you mentioned he closed the game out in Atlanta with the interception, right? Yep. That's a big play. Against the Broncos, he changed the momentum of that game with that strip fumble against Russ.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So he's made some impactful plays for this team this season. If you want to say on the defensive side about who made the most impactful plays, you can make the argument it's been Jamin Davis.
Yes, you can.
So you know what I mean? So we want to get on Jamin or whatnot. Some folks want to get on Jamin, but like I think it's wild because I remember on this show we said what would be a successful season for Jamin. You know what I mean? I think I said something like 6 sacks or 6 or 7 sacks. He had 3 sacks. I said to get an interception. I said a pick 6. We had an interception which closed the game out, which is dope, and 2 forced fumbles. And in the season, he had more games left, and he has 89 tackles. He was on pace to get over 100 tackles.
On pace to get over 100 tackles.
So. Props to Jamin. I think Jamin had a good year. I think that he showed progression, and I feel like the next dude that gets their hands on Jamin Davis here in DC, it'll be on DC next year.
Yeah, it'll be on DC next year.
You will get a awesome product. I do. I think he's getting better every year. I feel like and Glen, you're a coach. That's something you look at. You
want to see progression.
A guy who gets better every year, who's not stagnant, and Jamin has gotten better every year.
That's what, and you got to be, and that's in a Jack Del Rio defense too. He gotten better every year.
Yeah.
I want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Somebody may say, "Oh, he did it because of the front four," but guess what? The front four not playing well this year, and
Yeah.
there's no longer front four. It's like front two, and Jamin Davis is still playing well. So you got people who make excuses, right, or want to put Jamin Davis down. Jamin Davis, ever since what his organization has done, what his organization has asked him to do, and he exceeded. He's earned his starting spots, right? He earned what he got, and sometimes he still is getting ridiculed and stuff like that. So, shout out, give him credit.
You can't blame Jamin for where Ron drafted him. That's where I'm at. I know he was drafted in the first round. He was projected to be a second rounder, but folks gotta let that go. I think they gotta let that go. I feel like Jamin has done what he's getting better. You know what I'm saying? There's some linebackers who you draft in the first round who you hope to be great, and they ain't getting better.
Never pan out. Never pan out.
I just feel like our fan base sometimes tends to be a little bit overcritical. And these are for and I'm talking about linebackers who are not reaches in terms of what a draft stock says, a draft status says, like, and they haven't produced like Jamin. So I think we all got to chill out the way we dissect Jamin Davis. Like, I think folks a little bit too tough on Jamin.
He's an athletic quarterback. He's an athletic linebacker.
Yeah.
And he's quick and he can cover. I mean, he hasn't got burnt just many times this year.
He got burnt. It gets good. I mean, he's good. The thing about him is, like, I feel like he's gotten beat by good running backs, right, on wheel routes. I think everybody's seen it, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to get on him for getting beat by like a wide receiver. I can do whatever like that.
Yeah.
And if he can't, and in wheel route, if he's not, then put him in a situation where he doesn't get beat that bad on wheel routes. Give him some help. Like, you're playing him one-on-one on a wheel route. I mean,
you got to recognize and come over top.
And I would make the argument that a lot of some of your favorite linebackers aren't put in that predicament. To be real with you, but
true. Yeah, no, you're right.
So everybody, sometimes they tend to be, like I said, they're overly negative. A lot of people are overly negative. All right, so him being out, who would you like to see replace Jamin for the rest of the season?
Man, Khaleke Hudson. I want to see Khaleke Hudson. I want to see him let the young guys play for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get anything off of free agency or anything like that that's going to help you improve. You're not a playoff team, right? So why would you pay for somebody? Why would you pay for somebody to come in when you got people that's homegrown or you got people that's there that you can use this period of time as an evaluation to see if they will fit into the program? So that's why I would like to see, man. I don't know if my man Jabril Cox. Yeah, I don't know if Jabril. I want to see Jabril Cox is healthy or not.
That's what I want to see.
But I would love to see Jabril Cox play as well for Jamin.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Jabril Cox play. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to see Khaleke. I think Khaleke will play regardless.
Yeah.
But I want to see. I would love to see both of them play together.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I like both of them play together. I don't feel like. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that I would love to see both of them play together. I'm gonna hold you. I think we've seen enough of Cody Barton.
Oh yeah, dog.
I think we've seen enough of Cody Barton. We know who he is. We know who he is. It's not, and no knock on Cody Barton. We just know
he's limited. He's limited.
He's limited. You know what I mean? He's not a start. He's not an NFL starting middle linebacker. That's not a knock. I mean, maybe he can play another position, but he's not an NFL starting middle linebacker. If he is, he needs a lot of help around him to make him look really good.
Better. Oh,
a lot of help, like a lot of help. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So no knock on him. So I want to bring this to your attention too. You know that which I think is ridiculous, but Danny Johnson got cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got cut because the Commanders put a claim in for Blue Kelly, Caillou Blue Kelly. Your thoughts on Danny Johnson being cut, man? Like, I just think that's kind of why did he get cut?
You can't produce, get rid of him.
Danny ain't bad though.
Danny's not bad, but what he's done for
he ain't the worst one out of everybody else.
But what has he done for you lately?
I know. I think Danny. Yeah, I feel bad for Danny, man. I felt like he was productive, but yeah. I got you. What have you done lately? Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, it's the business they're in. They gotta. I mean, you gotta understand that he knew his name has been thrown out there, and so, you know, whether it's Ron or whoever the case may be that made the decision. Yeah. It was good for the organization and go be a star to Wells, man. Go be a star to Wells.
What happens if these things that happens though?
Yeah, Danny, go be a star somewhere else, man. That's my thing is. I thought he did well with his organization, but
I thought so too, man.
I thought he did well. It was time to move on. I thought You
I
know.
mean, I feel like hopefully okay. Yeah, hopefully Danny. I feel like hopefully Danny can land somewhere else. I think Danny Johnson's cool. I'm
Mhm.
biased. He's an HBCU alum. Man, he went to
Yeah, I
Central.
know. I know.
I'm
Yeah.
biased, man. Like I root for our guys. But yeah, hopefully he can land somewhere. I thought he played pretty well, knowing that no one
Mhm.
really thought he was going to be to get this far. And the
No,
games he kind of showed out. He showed well for himself. You know what I'm saying?
he
Like
didn't.
I feel like from arguably at times you could say he looked better than most of their starting cornerbacks at times. So I gotta give props to Danny Johnson, man. Props to him.
Much
Uh,
props.
so Sunday the Commanders travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. First
Mhm.
question, bro. Is this a winnable game for the Commanders, bro? Is this truly a winnable game? Knowing that this team almost beat Baltimore, this team, this
Oh no,
this
because
Rams team almost beat Baltimore.
the Rams team is coming back. I mean, you have Matthew Stafford. I believe Stafford is coming back. Cooper Cup is there. This
Mhm,
team, you got Donald on defense. The Washington team is in trouble. Um,
mhm.
I don't think they have a chance to beat this St. Louis Rams. I mean, St. Louis, Los Angeles Los Angeles Rams team.
Mhm.
I just don't think. I think this Ram offense has too much power, and we know what the Washington defense has been able to do to secondaries. I mean, you got 3 or 4 receivers on this Rams team that can actually go and get the ball
Yeah,
right, and so I think Washington with secondary will struggle this week again.
man, I'm about to sound like you. I felt like now I seem like a homer. I think they got a chance to win this game. I don't know why. I think this. It's in my
Mm,
spirit. I kind of feel like the Rams aren't consistent enough.
mm,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like I don't. It's not even Washington. I just feel like the Rams are like not consistent enough. They kind of remind me like of a Seattle team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can get a
So
good
it's
Seattle team, or you get a bad. You can get like a meh team, and like Washington was competitive against Seattle.
yeah.
I feel like they're just not consistent enough, and I feel like Washington will be in the game. Um, and it's going to be interesting to see how Eric Bieniemy and Sam Howell and that offense kind of filter out how they work after a bye. You know what I mean, and try to
Right.
iron out the kinks. And even Ron, like seeing what he can do. You know what I'm saying? Dude, like now he's taking over the defense. He had a whole bye to see if he can kind of truly improve the defense because it's hard. Let's keep it
That's it.
buck. Like you going against Miami firepower with Tyreek Hill. Granted, I don't understand the game plan with that one, but you are going against a high power team and you just made this change. It's not enough
Mhm.
time to go against Miami. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but what I'm saying is they had some days. They had extra days. I think Ron brought it back into office last Monday. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
8, 7, 8, maybe 10 days just to between games to be
You
able
mean
to
that game?
relax and
For that
yeah,
game?
for that game to get that game together.
Yeah, I
You know.
mean, yeah, but I feel like a buy. Not like a buy. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like a
Hmm.
buy. So, yeah, I just feel like who knows, man. I ain't saying they're gonna win, but I feel like it can be more competitive in this game.
I think it'll be
Uh,
competitive. I think it'll be
and plus the
competitive game.
Rams, and with a good thing, they're playing the Rams. Their hometown crowd sucks.
Hmm.
Like they don't really got home field advantage. They more got spectators and whatever. So they
Yeah,
got people.
definitely.
Yeah, they don't really have like a real home field advantage. So I do think that I think Washington can be in the game. I ain't telling you they're gonna win the game. I'm saying they can be in the game. I don't feel like it's like I know people see what Baltimore like how the Rams played against Baltimore. They look at Sean McVay and they're like, oh, Sean McVay,
Yeah.
he gonna tear this off. He gonna tear the Commanders up. You know what I'm saying? So
Dude,
speaking of Sean McVay, speaking of
dude,
Sean McVay, does that intrigue you like that storyline? Sean McVay versus against this old team that he was one of the coaches on the staff. One of those young killers that everybody likes to bring up every time
yeah.
they play one of these dudes. Does that intrigue you? Does that?
Nah, nah. At the end of the day, it's football, man. At the end of the day,
Mhm.
it's football. I mean, if he wanted to stay, he would have stayed. He had an opportunity to stay. You look at Sean McVay. You should look at his organization and look at the Rams organization. They're just trying to get their feet wet. They try to get their feet back underneath them, right? They haven't been the same since they lost in the Super Bowl. So this
True.
team is trying to create their own identity. I don't think they're coming into the game worried about the Washington Commanders. They're coming to the game to execute their stuff.
Yeah.
And Washington has to be prepared and ready for them when they execute their stuff. How do you stop it? What's the counter off of it?
Mhm.
How do you maneuver? So I think that's one of the biggest things is just being able to take what Sean McVay gives you on defense, um,
Mhm.
and be an athlete. Stop the ball from coming into the receivers. Don't let pressure the quarterback. Because again, this is Ron Rivera's defense, right? So it's really Ron Rivera and McVay going against each other, right? Defense and offensive side of the ball. So, yeah, I think he is knowledgeable. He's starting to get his weapons back, and I think we see a different Rams team.
Yeah, I mean, he had his guns against the Ravens, dude.
He had him on the ropes.
They had him on the ropes. I mean, he had his guns. I feel like, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one though. I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, they do got receivers though. I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, Cooper Kupp gonna light this team up.
He's gonna light this team up. Like I said, secondary is suspect for this Washington.
Cooper gonna get him. Let's keep it about Cooper gonna get him. Cooper gonna get him.
I mean, you think about it. Look at the top receivers that played against this.
Oh yeah, good point, Glen.
Right, top receivers. They don't do well. They don't do well against top receivers. DJ Moore, AJ Brown, right?
Right.
Top receivers. The team does not do well.
DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf, right?
You're right.
So this team versus top receivers don't do well. And there's another top receiver who's playing at home. CeeDee Lamb, right? Top receiver who's playing at home this week. Yeah. All right, he's well rested, laid in his bed. That again. I mean, you're playing the Rams. You fly out west. It's not like they fly east.
That's a good point, man. You actually straight facts, man. You better put out straight facts. I ain't going to hold you. You're right. There's nothing I can really say about that. You're right. You are right. So, all right, in this matchup, like I know, forget wins or losses. Like, but who do you want to see play that's not really playing? Like, who do you want to see play?
Oh man, I want to see a little bit more of Chris Rodriguez.
Oh, okay.
I want to see more Chris Rodriguez, especially if
B-Rob is still dealing with that. B-Rob is still dealing with that hamstring.
B-Rob still dealing with hamstring. You're not sure what you're going to get for Antonio Gibson. If you want to you're going to keep Gibson around, you're going to keep Rodriguez around past next year. Gibson has to get a little bit of money, so you got to see what you're dealing with, what value out. I expect more young people to play, right? What you playing for, right? You're not playing for anything, right? You're playing just to fulfill your contract on the schedule. Let some of these young people, let some of these players audition. At the end of the day, you do want to get the win. You want to get the dub. You want to get the win. But again, have fun.
Yeah, I want to see. For me, I want to see. I'm gonna say this. I want to see Cole Turner play. I'm just keep it buck. Like I don't need to see Logan play like that.
Right.
Real. I cut his time. I would just give him more opportunities. Because let the new whoever is going to take over this team, let them see if this kid has potential to be like a really good tight end. You know what I'm saying? Because it could help you in the draft. It can help you to make decisions in the draft, right?
Yeah.
I want to see. Keep it a buck, man. I want to see Quan Martin play safety. I do not like. I think we've seen enough of. I mean, I think I like Percy Butler. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
I like Percy Butler. I think he's probably I saw him at a Lakes function. I think he's a good kid. I even liked him in the Cowboys game playing the Buffalo nickel. Like I liked him playing because he was doing something. He was real aggressive. But where they have him playing like free safe, like literally playing back at the last line of defense, and then Washington likes to say they're just safeties. They'll just play whoever at safety. Like they don't like to do like free whatever. They just play whatever. And I want to see because Quan plays safety in college. If y'all comfortable playing Quan as a nickel corner, you should be comfortable playing Quan as a safety.
But what did you draft him for, right? Like
like they kept saying they want me to use him as a Buffalo nickel because he can do that because he can cover because he showed he can cover. If he can cover, I like to see him cover at free. You know what I'm saying? Playing that safety spot and then let him see what he can do because no disrespect. But I feel like Rivera and Del Rio are just embarrassing. They're embarrassing. They have embarrassed Butler to a point where he got it. Like, dude, if he can't do it, stop making him do it.
Yeah,
because he's giving up big plays consistently, bro. Like and even Defoe being like, and folks are like, well, we missed Defoe. Defoe wasn't having a good year either prior to his injury. So I'm just like, all right, you drafted this kid in the second round who played safety most of college, and that's what his prime position was.
That's my thing.
Safety.
That's my thing.
Why not?
That's my thing. You drafted him to play safety. He's a safety. You have nothing to lose. You're not going to the playoffs.
Yeah, play him in safety.
Truth be told, if you lose, you get a better pick. So play him.
Play him.
Yeah,
play him. Like play him in safety. Like this is killing me. Like I'm like, I get people on Instagram that like get at me like, well, they be like, Well, no, he's not going to be good. Like, nah, this is his position in college. He's going to be fine. Like,
Let
he's
him
better than
audition.
Percy. Like, Percy getting beat. Like, no
Yeah.
disrespect, he's getting beat. So I put this question on our Facebook page. Which player ask fans which players do they want to see against the Rams? My man T.W. Wallace said Forbes. Yeah, Forbes practiced today. Hopefully Forbes is healthy. I want to see Forbes too. I do.
I do too. I want to see
Yeah.
Forbes. I want to see
I
the young
want to
kid.
see.
Give
Yeah,
him
I want to
confidence.
see.
Give
Yeah,
all. I
give
want to
him.
see all the young kids. Give all the young
Yeah,
kids.
give him all confidence, man. Like play kid from Clemson. What's his name that everybody loves?
Khalid. No. Oh, no,
No,
I know he's about R.J. Henry.
KJ Henry. Put
KJ Henry.
play
KJ Henry.
KJ Henry. Give him. I mean, he plays now, but give him all the snaps. Like
Yeah.
like as close
Hey,
to not all, but you know what I mean. As close as
that
the
kid
majority of
proved
snaps.
that kid has proven that the more snaps he get, the better he gets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give him
like
snaps.
that kid has proved he's the better
Yeah,
snap.
give him some more snaps. Like give him more snaps. I'm not like we know he ain't elite, but I feel
Mm.
like he could be I feel like with the next coach, he could be a situational pass rusher, which is cool. Like, but keep giving him all this, like you said, Glenn, keep giving him all the snaps so he can like work on his
Develop,
craft a little bit more, right?
work on his craft, or
Yeah,
build his tape up for the next guy, right?
yeah, exactly. So I just like play them all, like just play them. Like I don't even see like the kid from Penn State, Tinsley.
Mm-hmm.
Play him. Like call him in practice squad. Like play him. Why not?
Play
There's no need to play. Like there's no need to play Crowder or even Pringle. Like for this
no.
particular, I know they like. Right? There's no need to even play Pringle. Like
Nah.
just play these dudes.
Play those dudes and let them do what they can do, right?
Yeah.
Underneath Ron Rivera, because everybody's auditioning. I think everybody's auditioning for who wants to come back to this team next year.
Yeah.
Because you're not 100% sure whether you can come back. Not you, players not 100% sure what's going to happen and what's going to transpire, what take place. If they're even going to fit in the new offensive, the head coach's scheme or anything like that, play everybody you can. It is a fire sale in Washington Commanders time.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, it's time like to close the show, but also before we close the show, I want to make sure you all listen to our pre and post game shows Sunday. The games at LA, we're gonna have our post game probably at 3:00. So pregame at 3:00. Pregame at 3:00. Post game will probably be at right after the game. So let's say 7:15, 7:30 will be our post game, and you can catch that on X Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. So you can catch it. Just search if you're on X, All Burgundy Go like ABG_Errrything. If you're on Facebook, just search All Burgundy and Go Errrything. And if you're on YouTube, same thing, All Burgundy and Go Errrything. Search that, we're there. So you can tune in there, and you're gonna hear some real stuff, man. It's gonna be fun. It's therapeutic, man. It's therapeutic.
It is definitely therapeutic.
It is therapeutic. Believe me. I told y'all earlier, I get mad, bro. I get mad, but I'm on that show. I'm happy, man. Like you wouldn't even know. Because I'm with Glen. Because I'm in Glen. Because me and Glen are Commander fans. So we can be cool. Like I can feel like I can see another man angry. Like I can feel it, it's like I feel this anger about this team. So it makes you feel bad. You feel better because you know you're not alone.
We ain't frustrated. Frustrated. You're not by yourself. It's a group. Exactly. We're family. We're
family. That's exactly. And then when y'all put in y'all comments, and then I read them like, oh, you feel me, like you're with me. I just can't say it because I gotta be mature. I can't say it. I gotta be mature, but I like it though. I appreciate y'all, really do. Hey, also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Errrything. I mentioned on X, so you can. But again, I'm gonna say it for you. Hit us up on X at ABG_Errrything, on IG at ABG_Errrything, and like I mentioned on Facebook, just search All Burgundy Go Errrything for our Facebook page. All right, man. This has been a great show. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm not gonna say that. Y'all already know, but subscribe to it. I'm not gonna be redundant and say it again, but you subscribe to it. All right, y'all been subscribing, so I appreciate y'all. Subscribe and like this current video too as well. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. You've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces. We out.